I am Jay Jacobs, and welcome to another episode of Going Beyond the Scale. Today, I am live streaming from one of my favorite places, being part of the NBC family. I am over near the Today Show, near Rock Center. I'm doing what I love to do. If I'm not out in nature, I love to go on a great urban hike. So I am about ready to do that. But first, as I promised with this post a few minutes ago, no worries. I want to share with you a person that I met a little over a year ago, and she has made a wonderful transformation that was grounded in transparency. And what I really want her to be able to share with you, to the degree that she wants to share it, I mean, it's up to her. She's done amazing things for her own health and well-being from a mental perspective and physical perspective. And that's really the thing that's great about nowadays is people really realize it's not one or the other. It's literally for all of us. It's being open and transparent and looking for support wherever you can find it for whatever you want to be able to do. So with all that being said, Doreen, where are you? I know you're behind the scenes. There's Doreen.
Yeah.
Doreen,
Hey,
thank you so much for being here. And really, as we talked about the other day, I want you to just kind of be able to share, a year ago, we met at VaynerMedia. We were doing we've been wellness ambassadors there for the past 2 years. You came up and you wanted to be able to understand your body composition, which a lot of people did. And what really the body composition conversation opens up for most people is once they kind of get to understand the numbers, we start to look at okay, so this is all well and good, numbers, but what's going on for you? What matters for you? What does well-being look like for you? And what was great was after a year of COVID and not having talked to you for a while, what I got to see was how confident, how alive and open you were. Because when we first met, you were interested, but you were a little bit timid and concerned. So instead of me yakking for a whole while, I'm going to be quiet, which is hard for me to do. And I just would kind of like for you to share what's transpired for you, quite frankly, over the past year, because I will tell you what your story is what a lot of people's story is, but your openness and honesty and transparency really, somebody's out there, it's going to help them. And maybe they'll say something to us or to you or someone, or they'll go to somebody else that will support them. So Doreen, I'm going to be quiet. Just kind of bring us back about a year ago when you knew we were coming in to see you and everyone there at Vayner, and what was it that caused you to do that, to come see us?
I figured I'd give it a try. I know you had a whole bunch of machines set up, and I walked in and I was like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but it ended up, yes, I found out things about my weight, but I ended up finding a lot about myself just talking to you. I feel like you were one of my first therapists. It was just you had me talking and everything just came pouring out. And so when I went to see you, I was struggling to gain weight. I've always struggled to put on weight. And it really made me feel insecure. And that time when you saw me, I was, like you said, very timid, very shy. I was not really that confident, and especially working at VaynerMedia, which is, like an ad agency where it's so fast paced. You need to work fast, you need to think fast. And I think maybe that affected a bit of my self-esteem. And I definitely was at one of my lowest points. So I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't looking good. And I knew that I needed a change. So, and when we started talking, I realized there's a whole psychological tie-in with food, and why I wasn't eating enough. And, sure, part of it was because, I was working too much, and
Right.
Maybe I was a workaholic, maybe I wasn't. I was skipping breakfast, I was skipping meals, not intentionally, maybe subconsciously. I was purposefully not eating, but I was just so focused on my work, and again, the nature of everything being fast-paced was just I have to get my work done. Eating comes later. eating to me was always just like a waste of time. It was like, I need to get work done. I don't have time to make things. And, you know, even till this day, it still stresses me out to cook. But at least, you know, it might stress me out, but I'm not like, it's not like this agonizing feeling anymore.
I think one of the big things that we discussed before and the other day we talked about as well, unfortunately for all of us, we have these ideas about whether we're being good or bad about what we eat or don't eat. And I think the thing that I've found for anybody, no matter what their size or shape is, that you want to get to the root of realizing that there's no good or bad way for you to eat. It's that you actually need to get to a place of what will fit into your lifestyle, what is really nourishing you mentally and physically. And I think that's what I love about what you were doing was you realized, yeah, you could learn to cook, like to cook, but maybe not. And what I was trying to do is give you some freedom around the idea of like, well, let's say you don't. There's a lot of options. And I think that was the part you were willing. And that's the thing that I found with people is when they're willing to actually explore something other than what society tells them or their parents tell them or their friends or other people tell them, there's an opportunity for you to get some freedom around that. And that's what you did. And even our conversation the other day, I got excited because like, this is great. You looked into it. You figured out how to make it work for you. And what it did is it's helping you with your well-being. And it even opened up a thing where you started to say, well, you know, maybe I could enjoy cooking or something. And my point to you was maybe you will, but it's not like all of a sudden now Doreen is a good person because she shops and she cooks. No,
right.
That's not it. That's not the Doreen that we have to worry about. So kind of give us an idea, like what started happening. I know you mentioned you talked to a therapist, you talked to a psychiatrist, which is smart. You're getting the kinds of support you need to be able to really feel better. So what are you doing in the area of your relationship with eating and food and all that?
Yeah, that's so true. What you said is that, you know, in order to change, like you have to want to change, not like, because when it comes from a place of like, ugh, I know I need to change, or like people are telling me that I have to change, like it's not going to work. So when you met me, I definitely was at the place where it was like, okay, I know I need to like put some more meat on my bones, but like, I don't know how. And I felt so guilty not cooking. Like everybody I knew like knows how to cook and enjoys it too. And I love how you said, you were like, you know what? Like, just order out if you need to, or like just don't cook, just get meals. You need to get some food in your body. And I was like, really? Okay, like you're not judging me for this. So I did that. I was like, you know what, screw it. Like I don't like cooking. I don't like cooking, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'll enjoy it one day. And you know, I did start to, so once I started eating better, I also started to, I sought out a therapist who's wonderful. I love her. I've been seeing her now, I think maybe for a little over 2 years. And so a combination of that, just talking about, you know, uncovering things about my past. And that's how it always is. It's always like things are always rooted to some kind of trauma in your past. So releasing those demons, I guess, definitely helped. I also have a psychiatrist that I saw shortly after I saw you. I'd never been on medication before, but like everybody I knew, like everybody, my family and friends, were all on like, they're like, oh, you should be on antidepressants already, or like you should go on something. And so I do take medication for depression and for anxiety, and also for ADD and OCD. And it's all related to each other. Like my OCD comes from my ADD, and depression, anxiety is just a form of that ADD and OCD. So maintaining that and also seeking a therapist has given me so much clarity. Like I'm just able to see things better. I'm able to see people better, myself better. I'm like understanding the world better, and I am finding joy in things. And I did start to watch Salt, Acid, Fat, Heat, documentary on Netflix, and I did get her book too, and just learning the science behind cooking, just it made it easier to just understand like what I need to do when I cook, because you put all these ingredients in front of me and pots and pans and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, yeah, I can chop these things, but like, what am I supposed to, like, how do you know when something's ready or whatever? So I think just learning all that stuff before cooking has helped.
Doreen, the other thing I wanted to add to that, because you brought it up, was that a lot of times when I'm working with people to help them navigate, if I understand what their passions are and their background and maybe their career, what they do. You're a designer by trade. You're someone that designs, creates literally from nothing and makes things wonderful for people to understand. And what I had said to you was that sometime you may be able to start to think of cooking or making things like design, and you may find that it becomes a creative process. And as I told you, I'm a designer as well. So for me, it's extremely a creative expression. For me, that's just the way it is. But once again, for yourself or for others that are looking for something, sometimes, like what you said, you have to go back and look at things that are demons. And then you also need to go back and find out, well, what are my strengths? What are the things that really drive me? And that's what I'm always looking for, not for a person to change. Why I believe you've really made a transformation is you quit making yourself wrong. You stopped that. We didn't. You stopped it. And that's the thing. You stopped it. Your therapist didn't stop it. The psychiatrist the power came from you. And that's the main thing for yourself or anybody else listening or anybody you talk to, when they always say, when somebody says, I need help, that's part of it. We get it. But bottom line, why you are so much more confident than where you were before is because you took the initiative and you were willing to do that. And that's why you just keep coming across from a place of confidence. And it's not ego. It's just you're living a life that you love and you're living it well. And sometimes the wheels can fall off, but you're not alone, which is great. Really great.
Absolutely. Yeah, it literally was just taking that first step. I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I met you. It was just like, yeah, I'll get myself weighed and maybe he'll have some suggestions, but just one step after another. It really is just like stepping stones. It just kind of, this path just kind of created for me, and all I had to do was just walk it. So things just got easier and easier. And yeah, like you said, like you fall off the wagon a little bit. I definitely have skipped meals here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel more confident and just better self-esteem, and that just helps living life overall. So
it does. Now, the other thing that you did, one of the things that has helped you, talk to me about, I know of a lot of the different food services and things you can order, but you are extremely excited about whatever's happened for you with Freshly. Tell us about that. How does that work for you?
Yeah, I have to give credit to my sister. She was the one that told me about it. She texted me and she was like, I just realized like you should try Freshly. And I was like, what is that? And what's good about Freshly is that, it's a food delivery service, but they're refrigerated meals. So they're not frozen meals. So it's not like high in sodium. It's not unhealthy. So, and they do have like a protein plan too. So the meals that I get are packed with protein because I know that's what helps build weight and muscles. And it's so easy. Like I literally just pick. I think I picked like maybe like 12 meals a week or something. And all I have to do is just refrigerate it and just pop it in the microwave for like 3 minutes. And it's so great because, like I said, like I'm busy, I'm tied to my desk all day, every day. And so it's just nice to like not worry, like, damn, like I need to eat and I need to like make something for myself. It's just like, no, it's already made. I know it's healthy. I pop it in the microwave, I eat it, and I'm not skipping meals anymore. And I know that it's I'm eating like a good diet. So it feels good.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. The great thing is you've got the mental support. I'm glad in terms of from medication. I mean, look, our entire bodies are this bioenergetic network of stuff, and they're still always trying to figure out how to make all these things work and connect back and forth. And as long as I can't tell you how many people that I know are in therapy or in conversations. I mean, it's finally becoming acceptable to actually say, hey, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
I have things I'm concerned about. I have fears. I have whatever. And I think that the more we can get more people like yourself to be open, transparent. I mean, that I could not get over, Gloria and I both could not get over how different you were in terms of, like I said, you're not better. There's no better Doreen. You just are what I would say better for yourself and feeling better about how you are. And what I really got was something can happen, like it happens to all of us in our lifetime. But I think finally it seems as if you've got this support network around you where you know you're not alone. And that is the tough part for a lot of people that have challenges mentally, chemistry wise and all that. So,
that's so true. I was so lost when you met me. I didn't know who my support system was. I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know anything about boundaries. So learning all of that through therapy, which I wish therapy, like mental health care, was free for everyone. Like everybody needs therapy. Like even if you had the best childhood, it's more so like everybody needs their own referee. Like, how are you supposed to know that what you do or what you did was right or wrong? Or like, we can't, it's hard, we're our own narrators of our own lives. Like there's no outside, objective forces that are telling you like, hey, you probably should have, said no to this, or maybe been nice to this person or whatever. I mean, there's just years and years and years that you may have just put in the back of your mind that you didn't think really affects you. And then boom, you realize that one thing that could have happened. And it was just like, oh, that still affects me today. Yeah. So, I really encourage everyone if they can to seek a therapist or a friend, whoever. I mean, I would say a friend, but like, a friend isn't the same as a psychologist.
Yeah, that's true.
It's good to have support, but professional support is needed. Yeah.
Well, Doreen, when we do this, we like to do what we call 15 minutes of fit. So we're not over. It's like a little bit longer, and it doesn't matter because it's not like we're going to get audited over it anyway. Yeah. But I just want to thank you so much. As I said to you, that you never know who you're sharing your story with. It's going to open up a door for somebody else, and your willingness to be open and honest and transparent, actually, quite frankly, is part of your well-being and everyone's well-being. I would suggest it for anyone. I mean, the worst place to be is in our own head. This is a scary place for all of us. The stuff that goes on in here, we've been listening to this stuff for a long time. We need to get it out of our mouth and share it with other people, and so you're a great example of, no matter where somebody's at, open up, share it with other people, and it'll make a major difference. So, Doreen, I want to thank you for being with us today. And I'm sure we're going to have a conversation sometime down the road as well.
Absolutely.
Hold on a second. Ooh, that's very noisy.
New York City,
That's a great example of what happens in life. I mean, you think everything's going fine, and then there's something comes along and it makes a lot of noise.
It's so true. Life is so unpredictable, and it's hard to manage. It's about maintaining stress in a healthy way. So you did well there.
Thank you, Doreen. Thanks a lot. Okay, you have a great rest of your day, and everybody, thanks again for being here, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks,
awesome.
Doreen.
Thanks, Jay.